The top story on ABC News Breakfast, Republican Senator John McCain has endorsed Mitt Romney as the party's nominee for president. The former Massachusetts governor narrowly won the Iowa caucus.
He was just 8 votes ahead of former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum. Tea Party favourite Michelle Bachmann has now pulled out of the race after coming last.
Dr. Harry Melkonian is a veteran American lawyer who has conducted more than 1,000 jury trials involving divisive key constitutional issues.
He also happens to be a Republican and he lectures at the US Constitution at the University of Sydney's US Study Centre. He joins us now from Sydney. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This victory by Mitt Romney in Iowa was far from decisive. How does he now plot the path ahead as he moves into New Hampshire and the other primaries?
Well, New Hampshire is pretty much home ground for him, and he anticipates a very strong result. And if he has to have a strong result in New Hampshire, because it's then followed by 2 primaries in the South Carolina and Florida, which will be somewhat more difficult for him.
He was appearing on various US TV breakfast shows in the United States just hours ago, trying to appear upbeat in the wake of that, albeit very slim, victory. Let's hear a bit of what the former Massachusetts governor had to say.
I'm absolutely delighted. Look, just a few weeks ago, we were way behind in the polls. We were able to do pretty darn well last night. And of course, I've also been building a national campaign and making campaign appearances in states that are coming up down the road. I want to make sure that this is not just a one-state send-off, but instead we're able to get the delegates we need to get the nomination. So it's a long road ahead. I'm hoping to do well, but it felt very, very good last night when the final numbers came in.
And Harry Melkonian, it's all about momentum, isn't it? It may have just been an 8-vote victory, but it's a win is a win. The former governor is hoping to build up a bit of a surge in coming months.
That's right. Each primary builds on the previous one, and other successful candidates have managed to do that. And we have to keep in mind what happened in Iowa is not a primary, but was just an informal caucus.
And it's also very important to point out that whoever wins in Iowa doesn't necessarily, A, go on to win the nomination of either party, or certainly, B, win the keys to the Oval Office.
That's right. In 1992, Bill Clinton managed to poll only 3% in Iowa, yet went on to win the nomination and the election.
Now, just about 2 hours ago, Mitt Romney received what could be the valuable endorsement of his one-time bitter rival, John McCain, who, of course, was the GOP's 2008 nominee. Before we discuss that, let's hear a bit from John McCain just hours ago.
I am really here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to make sure that we make Mitt Romney the next president of the United States of America, and New Hampshire is a state that will catapult him on to victory in a very short period of time. That's why I'm here.
I was on the ground there covering that 2008 election race, and it's fair to say both Mitt Romney and John McCain loathed each other. How much value is this endorsement, therefore, to Mitt Romney's chances of picking up the nomination?
It's unclear in that John McCain has not been able to maintain any real leadership role within the Republican Party. I think, though, it is significant because it's another well-known person putting his weight behind Governor Romney. McCain is, being an elected senator, he is very much concerned about the party nominating an extremist candidate who could bring absolute disaster in November.
Now, one of those candidates whom some in the party believe is a bit too extreme for their liking is Rick Santorum. He, in many respects, was the surprise runner-up in the Iowa caucuses. Let's hear a bit of his speech last night.
People have asked me how I've done this, sitting back at the polls and not getting a whole lot of attention paid to us. How did you keep going out to Iowa, 99 counties and 381 town hall meetings and speeches? Well, every morning when I was getting up in the morning to take on that challenge, I've required a strength from another particular friendship, one that is sacred. I've survived the challenges so far by the daily grace that comes from God.
Rick Santorum there, Harry Melkonian pointing to divine intervention. Now, along with having a very poorly funded campaign, he's going to have a lot of trouble appealing to the broader Republican Party and indeed the wider electorate if he did happen to clinch the nomination.
That's right. And keep in mind, he has basically been living in Iowa. He is the only candidate who has not spent any time in the other states, and basically he's just been going door to door, ringing doorbells in Iowa for the past few months. So it's not entirely surprising he's gotten a strong result.
And finally, Harry Melkonian, if you had to choose, who do you believe will emerge from the fray and eventually clinch the Republican nomination?
It looks like Romney. We have to, though, keep our eye still on Governor Perry. He had a very bad beginning. He may drop out, but if you keep in mind, he actually has a very strong position. He's governor of the second largest state. He is extraordinarily well funded, and he is basically a serious candidate. Though my own guess is that after his initial missteps, he may decide to wait it out until 2016.
Very interesting analysis. Harry Melkonian from the US Study Centre at the University of Sydney. Thank you very much.
Thank you.